And there we are. Okay. Start. A little unusual. The Town key probably won't be used at all. Krithel is doing a rather standard start. Check the island, check the hobo or Sahasrahla. Bombs are nice. Theoretically change what Chex wants to do here at the start. Bombs also on hobo. Krithel swimming out of hobo, probably going to swim clip here through a diagonal wall and check Ice Rod Cave. Let me change my mic setting real quick here. Almost missed that hammer there in Ice Rod Cave. Interesting starting item, not especially glitched, but useful for doing damage. Gotta watch out for crabs here when starting nice. Oh, okay. Crab is trying there. So, not having any money will probably not take this route to Krithel. Here. For a lull to try to improve. Check the screen map state. And is rescuing the old man. And now potentially fix my microphone. This eliminated one potential source of issues. Krithel heading to Sahasrahla after getting not much on his trips to Hobo and Ice Rod Cave. Green Pendant and Swamp. We saw a teleport to the graveyard ledge. I give it to understand that it's a little unusual. Bottle there in Sahasrahla. Krithel is willing to tree warp, so if it comes to it, he may dupe that bottle. Don't know if the teleport gives you Houlihan, but Chexhuman is acting like it will. And it does. Check's now going to do one of the things that Krithel started out with. He'll get that bottle in Sahasrahla, it looks like. I think there might have been a key or map in there too. Alright, so not anything really interesting. Swamp being a pendant is sort of nice if they don't find flippers. Okay. The hammer out of Ice Rod Cave we would expect Chex to get. I expect he's going to do that now. Oh, good point in chat. So, Krithel plays on a Super NT, and the Super NT cannot handle one of the important glitches for getting Let's see. I think it's getting the crystal out of swamp. So that is good news for him, that he will not have to worry about that. Alright, so Chexhuman is skewing Ice Rod Cave and Hobo early. Gonna put him down by that hammer. Not checking the race game. He has been burned somewhat recently by not checking desert or race game early in practice seeds. So I'm not sure exactly what his plan is here. Krithel heading to Hera, probably going to get 2 items and check Spectacle Rock. I guess having the bottle pushed checks here to Kakariko because he can do Sick Kid. One of the main things you would orphan here. Sword in Hera, that is also dupable with the Tree Warp. So if it comes to it, Krithel can get an extra bottle or sword, for free. I missed Chicken Hut, I think it was nothing. Krithel leaving that boomerang, that could become valuable later, but I guess he's just gonna say, well, I know it's there, and I can get it when I want. Krithel headed down, gonna do Graveyard Ledge. We're listening to the Final Fantasy IX MSU on Krithel's side. A couple relatively uninteresting small keys there in the well. So we're sort of waiting here for an item to get us going. I guess with the sword and bottle, we could do Lamo right away. We could also head to the... Could we head to the Thieves' Attic with a green? I'm not sure. I think that's subtile. Yeah, it is subtile, so we could head to Thieves' Town Attic with that green once, Oh, we got a second bottle in Blind's Hut. That's interesting. Probably won't be seeing that Sahasrahla bottle get duped unless things get really unpleasant in this seed. Now, do we know what was in that bottle in Blind's Hut? Blue. Okay, so we can do either. So it doesn't matter as long as we know. So we'll have some options once we go to desert with those 2 potions. Alright, so Chex is going to swing through the wall here, get his hammer. Alright, so Ice Rod and Samaria there in Mini Moldorm Cave. I think you could use Samaria to do what Krithel's doing, and that might be better, but maybe he's just not thinking of it. Might have to be a bomb, though. There we go. So that was the door juke to King's Tomb, and we got rupees out of that. Alright, probably heading to East Death Mountain now. Okay, so he'll collect that boomerang now, I guess. I guess Samaria brings him closer to having a use for that. And now we'll head to East Death Mountain. I'm not sure I'd say hard so much as high knowledge. So no logic, the items are placed without regard to vanilla beatability. However, this game has many glitches. Many very powerful glitches. Only a couple of which are banned for this mode. And they allow us to mostly get anywhere in the seed. There are some rare situations for this particular item pool that could become unbeatable, but once you get the book, you basically know that the seed is beatable. There are 2 of each rod in the item pool. That is because a rod on Crystal Trinex would make the seed unbeatable otherwise. So this way, that avoids that problem. So there we go. Chexhuman showing us Samurai can indeed be used to juke that door in Mini Moldorm Cave. Alright, Chexhuman scrolling the camera there for our tracker's benefit to be able to see the item. Perhaps a little bit for his benefit as well. Alright, so we're not getting too much of immediate use here. We don't have a cave state key, so we're probably going to see a play into the escape sequence here. There's a way to swim into Sanctuary Basement, so we could get that at some point soon. Krithel has not done Kakariko yet, so we'll clean that out. Chex technically has enough money to check Zora, but we'd prefer to keep that money for potions. So I don't think we're going to see the Zora check here. There's that blue potion in Blind's Hut. Castle Tower Key, that makes it more likely we're headed to escape after this sequence here. So he could start at Sanctuary. Wow, okay, so Chex is checking Zora. Could be interesting. So that's a cave state key. The Thieves Town big key allows you to run around in cave state and open big key doors and chests. So that may send Chex to... That may cause him to skip escape early here, where Krithel has a strong incentive to go there next. Alright, so the restream has... Oh, just a little hiccup. But Chex is probably heading to pod here. He will remember to check the first 2 items in Hera and be rewarded for it with a sword. And a magic refill. Alright, so Krithel probably headed to Desert after this Kakariko play. We'll see some things that we did not see from Chex. Chex didn't even look at the race game. Alright, Chex I don't think has been to East Death Mountain either, so it's probably next for him. He could go to pod though right away. Wouldn't be that strange. No, looks like we're headed to East Death Mountain first. We're gonna get our... Not much was over there. Yeah, maybe... Well, not even a mail upgrade. Maybe a small key or 2. So our only real interesting divergence here is that Chex checked Zora. How about Chex checked Checkerboard Cave? How about that? Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, he is the Thieves Town big key off of Zora. Krithel is unlikely to ever get that. Okay, a little money. We'll take that and be on our way. Or we'll not take that. Never mind. I think that was worth getting. Not sure about that, Skip. Expect Chex to get that having paid Zora. Shield. All-important shield was here on East Death Mountain. Alright, Turtle Rock Key is nice. We'd like at least one of those before we have to go there. If we get a couple more, 2 more, we could have a play that no one makes from the front of Turtle Rock into Upper GT. Harem Map was the other thing, not that interesting. So Krithel is not taking damage just yet. He could still. Yeah, there we go. So taking a little damage Death Warp after he performs a quadrant glitch here to get the right side. Alright, that was a heart piece there in the first chest on the right side of Desert. And the boss heart container there in the big key chest. So just health here on the right side of Desert. Chex is following suit here. Not sure why he cared to go all the way over there. Thinks a little longer about that heart container. Alright, Krithel probably headed to Thieves Town Attic here. Yep. And no point taking damage just yet, because he gets the blue potion effect from the YBA here. We'll see how much of Thieves Town he wants to do while he's here. He doesn't have the Desert Big Key, doesn't have Desert Small Key, so it might be done after he opens the attic here. But he could go to the front. Chex, I think, having the Thieves Town Big Key, which is both... Okay, so Krithel is going to Death Warp. Let's see, what's he going to do then after? Probably Agana, at least, and K45 maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see, is there something else he could do with that blue? No, I'm not going to either way. So probably just Agana and K45 here. Alright, Chex does not do anything in Thieves Town. He also doesn't do... I think he already did K45. Maybe not Agana, though. Not... Okay, I guess he just didn't think that Death Warp was worth the time. I don't know. This is a little bit of a marginal play. Oh, Big Key at Desert there in Agana. I think Krithel thought for a fraction of a second there about going back to Desert. This could drive Chex to go back to Desert into Thieves with the Desert Big Key. So he's walking out, so it looks like he is going to desert for some reason. I guess he... We're gonna bomb clip up here. So he could beat Landmo here. He has bottles to do that. Okay, no, probably going to Thieves Town then. You could theoretically go to Meyer too, but that's not common to see right away. Yeah, so he's using magic, so he is going to YBA into Thieves. Krithel, I think I might have mentioned it, but we can swim through the diagonal wall here to get to the Sanctuary basement. Krithel is doing that now. Just hop. Oh, he might be... Yeah, he swam in the wrong place. He was a little too high, I think. Chex chose his door carefully there to YBA so that he did not delete the attic chest. So Krithel, still not having a cave state key, is going to do Uncle and Escape here. Doing Escape first, I suspect he intends to head to Thieves Town in cave state from the Uncle Passage after doing Escape. Interesting that he didn't start at Sanctuary and do the 2 chests in Castle Tower. He has a Castle Tower key, so he could have done that. So Chex, having the Desert Big Key here in Desert State, will open some things, but not everything. Here in Thieves, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna beat the... He could beat this in Desert State and get the Desert Prize. I'm not sure that's what he wants to do. He could do that, though. Looks like he is going to do that. Okay. So we're going to beat Thieves Town in... Nope, don't have a glove. We're going to beat Thieves Town in Desert State. We'll get the Desert Dungeon Prize with a crystal pendant off of Blind on this trip. Then I suspect he will re-enter and get the Thieves Town Prize from the boss room. Check's grabbing a key there. Desert key. Interesting. So desert, it can be nice to have that right side small key door or in desert open for glitches later. So that might be part of the point of this route, to grab that key. Right, so that is the crystal from Desert that we're getting from Blind. We will be spit out the front of Thieves Town, and I suspect we will go right back in and get our Thieves Town prize on top of all the items in the front of Thieves. Krithel made a mistake there. I didn't see what it was exactly, but he did not get his YBA there in the Uncle Passage. I suspect he drank his potion. Alright, early Dark World. This could be... Okay, so we have a blue potion, so we're going to fake flute somewhere. That will give us Super Bunny. And then we will be able to grab one of the pull locations to get Link State. Except he doesn't want to do that. Alright. Sword there in the front of Thieves Town. Okay, so he wasn't He didn't plan properly there. He talked to the old man to get a health refill and eliminated his option of drinking the potion for a YBA there. Or a fake flute in this case. Alright, so that is Thieves Town complete. Boss and Crystal for Chexhuman. He also has the Desert Crystal. He'll have to beat Lanmo later. That's part of the rule requirement called Crystal Bosses. You have to get the crystal out of every crystal dungeon, and you must beat the boss in every crystal dungeon. Alright, so Fire Rod there out of the chest game. Krithel. Okay, so Krithel has a temporary link state on the overworld, so he's going to open things, grab what he can, probably end in Hype Cave here. So as soon as he enters and exits the underworld, he will lose his link state. Chexhuman, meanwhile, is in a different kind of state. He is in the fake dark world. He's only in the dark world on this screen. Alright, so we have somebody asking in chat, are we in go mode? That might sound like a joke, but I didn't realize it, but we are awfully close. We have 2 rods, 2 bottles, and 2 swords. So you do have to start thinking about go mode. And we have just now discovered on Krithel's side that... Okay, so Eastern is a pendant, Hera is a crystal. Chexhuman just saw that. And so Krithel continuing to use his link state on the overworld and not go into any underworld. So he gets items that are just free on the overworld. Alright, so Chex knows 2 pendants, Eastern and Swamp. So this, if Chex is in go mode, it's an uncomfortable go mode. We just saw there on Krithel's side that Pod is one of the 5-6 crystals. So even if Chex is in go mode, there are a number of items that would be useful. Pearl, perhaps chief among them at this point. Maybe not, though. Mirror and hookshot would be nice. Alright, so we saw Hype Cave. Bombos would be interesting, but we already know we have the Myrmidine, so much less interesting. Well, bow would still be useful for some glitches. But Chex is going to clear out one of the most item-dense and easiest to clear locations left to him, which is Pod. And then he should... well, so he has 2 options here. He could beat Pod, but that will require him going into Pod state. I sort of expect him to do that, but throwing that bomb there. Alright, so 2 fire rods in quick succession for Chex. 1 in Village of Outcasts, 1 in Pod. But bombing that door open to the right in this room suggests he is going to Hookshot Cave after whatever he does in Pod. That may or may not involve beating Pod on this trip. I would think so. And Krithel is going to join him in Pod. Alright, so both now in Pod. We haven't seen anything interesting yet. That was Chex's second fire rod. It will be Krithel's first. Krithel knows the sword is dupable, so he will have effectively 2 swords, 2 bottles. I think and a dupable bottle, so he has infinite swords and infinite bottles at his discretion. So he will also start thinking about go mode once he picks up this fire rod. He also has the added advantage of knowing he has the Mire Medallion. Krithel also taking a route that suggests he's headed to, well, maybe not. Sort of doesn't matter. Right, pod key and pod. Also shovel, I guessed. I expect that we're never going to see that get checked. Alright, so still nothing especially interesting. Hookshot, that is interesting. Let's see. Mirror, that is also interesting. So this is why we came to Pod, the chance to get interesting items. We got 2 of them. So Mirror may push Chex. If he was considering not beating Helmosaur on this trip, he's probably changed his mind. Because that mirror makes us a little nicer. Either way, he's loading Pod. That will almost guarantee he's beating Helmosaur here. Krithel. Okay, so this is interesting. I have seen Krithel in some situations skip the right side of Pod. For now, that would be his first fire rod. So it would not be great, although the other fire rod is reasonably easy to get in time. Alright, so he's going to at least beat Pod first before doing the right side. Meanwhile, Chex has completed the trick to get to Helmosaur. A little hiccup on the restream there. Chex continues the fight. Krithel in the same glitch. Alright, so I don't think Chex knows that Pod has a 5/6 crystal yet, but he's about to get the crystal. Alright, so Pod completed for both players. That's an odd choice. Alright, so Chex saves and quits there. I'm surprised, I guess, that he's not going to Hookshot Cave at least, but he might be thinking about go mode. So he has Hera to beat. He knows it's a crystal. He may be going fairly aggressive here towards what he knows he has to do. I know Chex feels a little pressure in this race to try to match Krithel here. Krithel is a very strong player. Alright, so Krithel setting up a quadrant glitch that we've deemed turtle power. This will assist him later in getting to Hookshot Cave. Going upstairs, I don't understand. Maybe he knows he missed the quadrant glitch. I didn't catch it, but that's likely here. Yeah, setting it up again, so he missed it. Alright, so there's Moldorm down for Chex. And a bow. Wow, okay. So, aggression paying off here. The bow gives him easy access. That's actually a very nice item for him at this point, especially if Turtle Rock ends up being a crystal. That'll get him to Trinex more easily in Link State. Yeah, so Chex thinking about his options here. He knows he's close to go mode, finds that Meyer is a 5-6, and I can see that Krithel's camera is unlocked, so he definitely got the quadrant glitch this time. Yeah, so this is what I thought. Krithel not able to get that balcony chest now that he's done things this way. We have bombs, ice rod, and bow. We can't overworld conveyor with that. Alright, Turtle Rock Big Key is nice. Alright, requires some shenanigans to get around if you don't have it. So, let's see. What's Chex doing here? He's just going to beat Skull Woods, so he's working on discovering his last pendant. Alright, so dying in Skull will give him fake Dark World on all these Skull Woods overworld screens. So he's going to clear out the front of Skull. I'm almost surprised he's not... Okay, so this is a glitch to get him the big key chest out of this chest here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't understand why he... I thought he was going to mirror. I'm not sure he knows what he's doing here. Yeah, just get the chest. Alright, so we got the Gibdo chest, the one behind this switch with the wall master and everything. That's what the Samari glitch was about, and that's why this chest is still closed, and he opens it again and gets a different item. Krithel is fighting Ice Armos with Sword and Samari. That's not great. Berna is not the option, and I mean, I guess I'm not sure why he's not using Berna. Maybe he wants to keep his magic for Samari uses in the dungeon. Either way, he's come here in... Is it... Okay, so he exited and came back, so he's in cave state, so he's got all the keys. Effectively gives him infinite keys here in GT. So I'm not sure if Chex fully cleared the front. Alright, let's look at these items. Skull Big Key, Desert Small, and something invisible. Chex not aggressively skipping items yet, at least. Ice map is nice. I'm trying to stay eagle-eyed to see if Krithel opens his menu here to see if we can discover what that invisible item was. So Ice Big Key, effectively a fetch quest. You're probably never going to open the ice big chest without that. But it wouldn't really affect your decision whether to go into ice. If that was your best play, not having the big key wouldn't make the difference. Alright, so Chex discovers his last pendant there in Skullwood, so he now has full crystal information. And he will make his decisions accordingly. So what's he have left? He needs to beat Landmo, and then beat Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock. He doesn't... Okay, so we get a sword there in the Fire Snake room for Krithel. That's interesting. But Chex... So he doesn't know the Mire Medallion. Once he sees that, I think he'll be in go mode. So he can definitely beat Ice with 2 bottles. That's not a problem. I'm not sure what Chex is doing. Okay, he's fake fluting. And... Alright, so Chex's priority here is checking the Mire Medallion. So he's going to go to... Yeah, that key is just gone. Alright, so he's getting Ling State. He's going to clip over to Mire, discover the Mire Medallion. Okay, not clipping over just yet. That's a little surprising that he's... So he's going to get Stumpy and Dig Game at least here. Lamp in GT. That's a reward for this GT play. Chex will probably never get that. I'm not really sure. So Krithel doesn't have... Okay, that's interesting. So getting wall mastered there is sometimes an intentional play, but I don't know. I'm not sure he didn't want to check the right side. However, he is awfully close to go mode and may in fact be in go mode. Right, so Mire Big Key, useful-ish. Glove, definitely useful. Together with the hammer, that will eliminate the need for a trick in ice to get to Cold Stare. Alright, so greetings to Speed Gaming. We have a No Logic Double Rods tournament race here. No logic meaning the items are placed without regard for vanilla beatability. However, this game is thoroughly broken. We have many glitches at our disposal, and almost all of them are allowed in this mode. We have double rods in the pool because one way for a seed to be unbeatable is for one of the rods to be on Trinex, so that eliminates that possibility. In addition, it makes a rod hunt at the end less likely, so go modes can be a little more varied and interesting. Both players are probably in go mode. A little hard for me to judge, but I think they both have ways to get to the end of the game. They'd still like some items here. Krithel, each player would like another sword, at least. That'd be nice. Yeah, so I think Chex should be able to delete the big key door with Samaria and 2 bottles. He should be able, with the small key, he should be able to open that first So I don't think Chex has a problem in Turtle Rock. Alright, so Chex has gone from Mire to Hera and acquired the Mire Crystal out of Hera. He still needs to beat Vitreous. I expect we'll see that done from Aghanim's Tower. We're going to see the screen scroll many times to do that, I think. Chex thinking about what he wants to do next. I'm not sure he'll ever get that glove out of the Turtle Rock Big Chest that Krithel got. I think he's going to go straight to Laser Bridge and beat Trinex. He might have to do that in... No, I think he can do that in one trip. But he'll do that last, I think. Right now he's probably getting bottles to beat Ice and Mire. Ice, Mire, and Desert. He has the Desert Crystal. He needs to beat Lanmo. That is part of the rules here. You must... Okay, so there's his bottle for... That's his bottle to get to Cold Stare. You usually get a blue for that. It could be for Link State, though, I guess. Meanwhile, Krithel gets down Turtle Rock. Hard to tell who's in the lead here. I doubt Chex is ever going to GT. Krithel does not have full pendant information yet. His last pendant is let's see, does he even know the Alright, so one pendant's in Skull. Yeah, so Krithel going to Aga 2 already does not have the Pearl. Usually you'd like to do this last to have a free Link State on Ganon, but I think both players are fair. So that Skull is always a problem. Anyway, both players are fairly comfortable with the Sanctuary Basement juke to the bottom of Ganon. So I don't think either player is going to have a problem with Link State on Ganon if they die or need to have it later. So Chex doing Desert. Afterwards, he'll probably buy another potion and head to Ice. So he's not... Okay. So, often, you will see players use a potion to get to Lanmo here. Chex is planning out his endgame, and it'll be close on the money, so he is saving a potion here by using... opening the Wall of Shame here in Desert. Alright, so Krithel discovers Eastern is one of the remaining pendants, and both the other Light World dungeons are crystals. So he'll just beat Hera with... he might have the Hera Big Key. Oh my god. Alright, so Chex is doing Blockbuster for some reason. Despite being pretty clearly in go mode here. The marginal check, he's maybe doing this for fun. Right, I didn't notice that we got a glove on Lanmo. So that will eliminate the need for Chex to use that blue potion that he bought in Ice Palace. So Chex doing a trick. This will get him to Hammer Pegs. It is the piece of heart he deserves. Not sure Chex is going to have a use for that blue. I guess he could use it in Turtle Rock. I think that's Those are super tile. I think he's going to need to do a super tile YBA in... Okay, what are we doing here? We're going to Meyer, I guess? So, Chex needs to beat Vitreous. I'm not sure this is his... This is the best way to do it. I would have thought he was going to Tower, but this will get him to the basement of Meyer. I think we'll just check this one chest and head to Vitreous. Maybe get a magic refill. Boy, I'm not sure why we're going to Meyer proper here. Not sure why we're not just beating Vitreous. I guess he's gonna YBA past some stuff. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, so Krithel, not knowing his last pendant, is going to beat Skullwoods. That will be his last pendant. That'll give him full crystal information. He'll be a little sad about it. This is one of the easiest dungeons to complete, so he would have hoped this was a crystal, but... Yeah, I'm surprised Chex is still looking for items here. He can clearly beat Ice. He can clearly beat Vitreous. He was on the doorstep there of Vitreous. And I don't think he has a problem in Turtle Rock. Oh, he is here. Okay. He opened that door. I don't know if that was on purpose, but that could be a door deletion. He could be deleting the Turtle Rock big key door here in Meyer. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Alright, so that's why he went to the rest of Meyer. Alright, so he would have done this otherwise. I think he could have done this inside Turtle Rock and just mirrored. But maybe this was his plan before he got the glove. Not sure we're going to be able to beat Vitreous now that we've done this, yeah. So now I think we're going to beat Vitreous from Tower. Alright, so he should have just deleted the Turtle Rock big key door. So he will just walk to, uh-oh. Yeah, I think he was flirting with an infinite scroll there. So he just saved and quit. He should have a blue and a red. He could be either going to Ice or beating Vitreous on this trip. Or he could be refilling magic. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he used his red potion, so I guess he's getting another. Alright, so we've got a green and a blue. This could be... Still could either be Ice or... Alright, so now we're beating Vitreous, it looks like. Are we going to get the Scudge Super Jump? We're not. We're just going to walk to Tower. I think that's what we're doing. I would have thought this would be faster from Sanctuary, but maybe not. Alright, so Krithel is going to beat Vitreous and get its crystal in one go here with a stuck push. That went wrong, I think. Wow, surprised Chex is doing chests here. All right, so here we go. Here is the Samaria plus YBA. I think it's a double north, and then we fall on a... Okay, so he does this a little differently than what I saw the other day. So he'd made a mistake. He went to glitch jail. This will not VRAM. Whatever he does will not VRAM, so this will be... I think he's doing... This is not what I remember. Okay, so now he should fall in a... I don't know why he's doing a third. I don't know how many North Samarias this is now. So fall in a pit. We're going to see lots of scrolling here. Then I think he'll just walk north and be in the Vitreous fight. Meanwhile, Krithel completes his Vitreous fight. He gets Vitreous down and the crystal on the same trip. However, he is behind on the crystal collection here. Chex has 4, is about to get his 5th full dungeon completion. Krithel only has 4. And here we are in the Vitreous fight for Chex. This is a little more dangerous. The damaging goo that the eyeballs are normally in is solid, so you can't walk into those and get iframes. The little... Oh, they do have knockback. Okay. So this is actually maybe modified from the version of this that Chex was doing just yesterday or the day before. Because in that version of it, the little eyeballs did not have knockback, so they were a bit more dangerous. This is going to be a very close race here. I think I want to give the advantage to Chex, but we're going to have 5 crystals on both sides. Both will have ice left to do. Chex will have Turtle Rock and Agate 2 other than that. And Krithel will just have Thieves Town. Krithel will be able to just swim to ice. So he'll get into ice a little faster. I mean, Krithel, he also has Powder and Lamp, but I don't know what that's really going to do for him. I guess we're going to see Master Sword Silverless, so the Lamp is nice for Ganon. Chex will probably want to buy a potion for Ganon. Yeah, Chex. Krithel has the mitts, but not the flippers there. So both headed to ice. Yeah, we're not doing any hook pushing. Alright, so Chex gets into ice first, but is going to have to walk to the front. Krithel's already where he wants to be. I'm not sure we're going to see Krithel open that chest. Yeah, there'll be an extra Agate 2 fight for Chex, but he'll be dumped right on the pyramid in Link State. Krithel's going to have to do something a little extra to get there. Krithel ahead here in ice. So maybe Krithel a bit ahead here. Chex needs the small key. Actually, I don't think he does need that small key. I think he could have grabbed the one under the rock. That would have been a little faster. Yeah, Krithel headed straight to the end of the game. He's in go mode. No extra chests for him. I guess we got the big key chest, but that's a very fast chest to get. Yeah, so Chex grabbing things he doesn't really have time to grab. If he gets silvers or tempered, that could make a difference, but other than that, he doesn't have time for this. Alright, so just Thieves Town left for Krithel. I'm not exactly sure how he's going to do this, but Thieves Town is very fast. Very unusual for Thieves Town to be the last crystal you're getting in this mode. So I think Chex was... What are we doing on... Whatever Krithel is doing is... This is a close race. Krithel doesn't have time to be messing around here. Okay, so he's going to buy potions. He didn't have the potion he wanted. I think that's the only problem here. So Chex is going to have a fluid endgame here. He'll get potions, head to Turtle Rock. From Turtle Rock, he can go straight to Aga 2. From Aga 2, he'll be able to jump right into the Ganon fight. So this is still pretty close. Hard for me to judge who's in a better position. Both players need to make their decisions quickly, and we need Chex. Chex might check Laser Bridge. That would not be great. Alright, so Chex needs a Link State in Turtle Rock. Yes, this is not great for Chex. He's going the slow way to the potion shop. Because he's having to think about what he's doing. So Krithel gets the YBA to Thieves. Never got that Thieves Town key from Zora, so he's got to open these. I believe he opened the attic from Desert a very long time ago at the beginning of the game, so he doesn't have to do that here. So he'll beat Thieves Town and get its crystal in separate trips here. Yeah, so a big difference. Alright, so he's gonna... Yeah, so he needed to open that door from the backside because he does not have the Thieves Town big key here. Krithel made a mistake there, and it's going to cost him some time. So what he wanted to do was get blind in... we wanted to get some version of LSD blind, but the effect of it would be to leave that shutter door open. So Krithel's going to have to make a second trip here to Thieves Town. To get the crystal. Meanwhile, Chex is having to... So we did a fake flute to get a Link State. Now we'll climb the mountain to get over to Turtle Rock. So this race is getting really tight now. Looks like the invisible item behind Ice Armos was the pearl. Krithel has the pearl. We did not know that. Yeah, so there was an invisible item behind Ice Armos that we never saw. I don't think Krithel knew. I guess, or no, he must have known because he didn't have to death warp in ice. That's probably when he knew. So Chex doing laser bridge here. Unfortunately, time he doesn't really have. He's a sword or silvers are what he's looking for. Neither are here. Krithel is going to run by the sword in the front of Thieves that would basically cinch this race for him. Half magic. Okay, so I forgot that was there. That's actually sort of important. Chex does not have the lamp that Krithel does out of GT, and that will make his Ganon fight much easier. So, Krithel is just going to moat clip. Well, maybe not. He's going to give up on spin speed there on the stairs. So there's a clip we can do north here to get us straight to the pyramid. Yep, so this is the moat clip. He's going to screen wrap, and he should get dumped into the... After some running around, he will magically fall in the pyramid hole. There it is. Alright, so Chexhuman looks like he's behind by an Aga 2 trip, fight, and some fanfare. So I guess Chex could make up some time if he does some Samaria business on... Okay, so Chex not having the pearl has to death warp here to get Link State. That's going to take a little while. Okay, so Silver in the Swamp, we were never getting... Krithel has just made a rather significant mistake. He missed Torch Glitch. Chex finally gets his Death Warp. Okay, so this will be... I'm not sure what Krithel has in his bottles. Wow. So you should have enough magic for this, but it's going to be slower. I don't think it's enough for Chex to... Oh, wow. Okay, Ganon hug there. We have red mail. But now dying becomes an issue if we're not careful. This is now a tense phase 4 Ganon for Krithel here. It's going to take a while. Chex, he doesn't know it, but Chex is breathing down his neck in the Aga 2 fight. Chex will have a much faster phase 4 because he doesn't even have the lamp. Yeah, Chex will have to get Torch Glitch and be fast. Unfortunately, I think Krithel is just too deep in the fight for Chex to catch up unless Krithel makes a mistake here. I have honestly not counted spins here, but we're pretty deep in phase 4. Alright, so Chex has his cane out. He might have just had that out from the lich, but he could use that to speed up these first 2 phases. Krithel is running out of magic. I think we'll have plenty, though. There it is. Alright, so Krithel finishes with a time of 1:11:06. Chex right behind him in phase 2. And they were saying before the match that they were going to skip the interviews on game 1. I'm not sure if they're going straight to game 2, but I don't think we will be speaking to them after this match here. No, I can't even ask. All right. So game 2 is scheduled for 4 p.m., but that might be that is scheduled for 40 minutes from now, but they may be doing a hard doubleheader here. So they may be taking a small break and starting right away. I'm not sure what the plan is. Right, there we go. Ganon down for Chexhuman. So he finishes with a time of 1:13:26, less than 2.5 minute difference between the runners here. So ultimately, Chex's Turtle Rock Big Key from Zora made an early difference, but Krithel getting his goodies out of GT, the Lamp and the Pearl, was a little too strong for him. Maybe a glove was in there too. Right, so I think we're confirming no interviews. Let's see. Chex will not. Yeah, okay, so they are going to. So, no interview from either player, unfortunately. I suppose we'll hear about it at the end of game 2. We are going to have. They are going to take a 10-minute or so break. 10 minutes. They want at least 10 minutes between now and the start of game 2. But it sounds like they're going to start setting up for it right away. So, game 2 will be following shortly. Is it on this channel? It is on this channel. So, I'm going to have to ask some setup people what we want to do, whether we want to stay live. But that game is coming up very shortly. Game 2 of this match between Krithel, a series between Chexhuman and Krithel. Krithel takes game 1 by less than 2.5 minutes. Alright, gloves were in the Turtle Rock big chest. Alright, so I think this channel will stay live until game 2. It's gonna be about 10 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, Krithel confirming in the chat that he thinks Pearl was behind Ice Harmless. I don't think there was anywhere else for it to be. Alright, so I think that will be it for me. This channel will stay live until game 2. So definitely check that out. Very close race here in game 1. Game 2 should be similar, hopefully similar. I will step aside and have a good afternoon, everybody.